Hey there, entrepreneurs. My name is Sushant, and welcome to TrepTalks. This is the show where I interview successful e-commerce entrepreneurs, business executives, and thought leaders, and ask them questions about their business story, and also dive deep into some of the strategies and tactics that they have used to start and grow their businesses. And today, I'm really excited to welcome Anthony Rosemond to the show. Anthony is a Parisian chef and founder of Pastries, an online French bakery. They handcraft macarons and crepes that ship fresh in the entire of United States. And today I'm going to ask Anthony a few questions about his entrepreneur journey and some of the strategies and tactics that he has used to start and grow his business. So Anthony, thank you so much for joining me today at TrepTalks. Really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you guys for having me. Hi.
So, I was reading online, and the headline that I read is "The couple left France to build their American dream." So can you share a little bit about how you came to United States? What was your background, and how did you come up with this idea of starting Pastries?
Yes, sure. So originally I'm an engineer. So I studied material sciences. So really something totally different. And my wife is a human resource. So we both had, our careers, but we knew at some point we wanted to do something for ourselves, like our own company. And so at some point we just said, okay, let's see what we can do together, and on my part, I love like online marketing and, doing online businesses and making the website looks good and everything around marketing. And on her side, she's really fond of, baking. So since we were in Paris at that time, we started to learn at Le Cordon Bleu, the techniques and all that good stuff for the macarons. And that's how we left France back in 2017. We just kind of mixed our skills and our passion together. So she's in charge of the kitchen and I'm in charge, of the business online. And together we have like the perfect team, I would say, to build something like that.
And so, the value proposition of your business, is it really that this is kind of, you are shipping these macarons online? Is that kind of your big value proposition, or you have in-store experience as well?
Yeah, so we started really on farmers market originally to test the product. Maybe you have more question about it after, so I keep some suspense on this one. But yeah, the value is really online first, because the idea is, French bakeries, you don't have that many in the US, or if you have some, it's going to be like in big cities. So we really wanted to have like the authentic macaron, the real ones with the authentic recipe available for everyone. So that's why we decided to go with shipping. Yeah.
Is there a big market for macarons? Like when you decided to come up with this idea of having an online business selling macarons, which is kind of a very defined value proposition, did you do any research beforehand to say, there is a big market in the US and people would be willing to buy this?
Yeah, so before to leave Paris, I kind of looked online. I don't know if you know the tool called SEMrush. It's an SEO tool, search engine optimization. And it allows you to kind of see the trends of the keywords that's typed in Google. So, for example, the keywords macaron near me is roughly around 40,000 requests a month, which shows a good interest from, American markets. And at the time in 2017, there was like 2 to 3 other businesses doing that. So it's a really narrow niche, but in the meantime, there is demand, So that was like the first step, before to leave. And then once we arrived here, we needed to check, okay, what is the market here? What do you guys like as a flavor, as a color and everything? So that's how we started doing farmers markets at first, to kind of test our product on the lower scale, to see what people like in here.
One question that comes to my mind is, let's say, anybody has an idea. You were in France. Did you, in terms of, starting a business or working in the United States, of course, I'm assuming there's some sort of like, paperwork that you need in order to go from one country to another and start, working or starting a business. I mean, what kind of, like, did you kind of just decide, okay, we want to go to the US, there's enough demand seems to be for macarons based on SEM Rush, let's go there and just start the business? Or like, was there more planning? Like, did you come on like some sort of a business visa or something? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. It's good actually you asked me about that, because I think you, as maybe as a foreigner, you have that challenge as well, and we had that challenge. So at first, at the really first, we thought it was impossible to come in the US, because from outside of the US, or in France at least, we have that conception like, it's really hard to immigrate to the United States, or you need like a lot of money, or you need someone to hire you, things like that. That's in the culture. So at first we thought it was impossible, even if it was our dream. So we had our visa to go to Chile at first. We were meant to go to America Latina, But at some point we said, okay, let's try it. And the first step was just the 3 months, I would say, tourist visa, just to see how it is, test the market, see, just asking questions around, nothing crazy. So the route we took was the E2 visa, which is called investor visa. And the investor visa require you to actually do what we did, which is test your idea, have some things invested already. It's like they want, once they give you the visa, that the business is ready to go. They don't want to give a visa to someone that don't know the market, don't know if it's going to work. They want to give the visa to someone that already have something almost established. So it's kind of an in-between that you have to play. They ask you to prove that you're serious, to prove that you invested enough. But in the meantime, it's very risky, because if they don't give you the visa, you kind of lose what you invested already. So that's you need to be really motivated to go this route.
Okay. What kind of investment did it require? Like $500,000?
Nothing too crazy, but usually people come here with 100, 200,000, things like that, and we didn't have that kind of money. We saved, we had savings, so that's what we put in the project. But for example, they wanted to make sure, originally we had like a local delivery, so we needed to have like a vehicle. We had like an office, you need a lease, something like that. That things counts to them, to show that you already paid for your lease, you have a lease contract for a few years, things like that. So they don't really require specific items, but they want they want your project to be fulfilled enough, to be already committed, kind of. That's actually the word they use, is a committed fund. Like, you need to have funds that are already committed into your project to show that you are serious.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So basically they're looking for a business plan and some sort of a financial commitment that, it's not like, that you're going there just to, stay and get a job and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. They want you to commit your funds to your project. They don't want like to see just a business plan with, I would say, a bank account number, and that's it. No, they want to see actual investment. They want to see actual things that you already did for that business, showing that you are committed to it.
Okay, I mean, that's kind of the definition of entrepreneurship, right? So you're an engineer, and your wife was doing something else, and you had this idea, and you kind of went all in. There's an aspect of risk there, but of course there's if it works, there's a reward there. So I mean, I would say that's kind of the definition of entrepreneurship. It's like taking the risk, but knowing, but it's a calculated risk. It's not completely uncalculated as well. When you so you said that initially you kind of launched in the farmers market. Can you talk a little bit about those early days? So in terms of, I think, the startup cost, it's not really huge, because this is bakery. So, you're kind of, you can create small batches on your own. Can you talk about those early days, about how you kind of got the business started and how you got your first customers?
Yes, so the beginning was really, the idea was to get the product in front of as many people as we can. So even before the farmers market, we kind of used the app called Meetup. I don't know if you know this app. So
Yes.
it's like an app that you can meet people about a topic, a specific topic. So we kind of popped. We just show up on some meetings that people had, and we say, okay, we're coming with free pastries, and we just want your feedbacks in return. So we bring like lots of different things, because in the beginning, we didn't know macarons was such a big thing in the US. You know, we kind of didn't know. So we bring a few different pastries, and that's when we understood that the macarons were pretty famous in the US. So we said, okay, let's focus first on the macarons, and now let's go to farmers markets to see. Before even to go online, we needed to know what is the taste like. You know, do you like salty taste? Do you like I know, chocolate, fruits? What is the vibe, you know, around this? So we did those Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, Malibu, a couple months to get feedbacks again. And in the meantime, we were building the website according to feedbacks, you know. And yeah, so that's how we use that step to really, I would say, tailor our product, what I call, you know, the most valuable product, which is MVP kind of. So we really tailor the colors and the flavors. And then once we were sure that, okay, this is our bestseller, people like, I don't know, pistachio, chocolate, all that, we're going to make website focus on that. And then we started online in parallel of the farmers markets.
To me, it almost seems like, you know, I'm trying to think, you know, your value proposition. So of course, I'm on your website, and, you know, one big value proposition is, you know, handcrafted by real French chefs, right? So that's kind of the value proposition. But I think the value proposition, the real value proposition of your business is really that online delivery, quick online delivery aspect of it. So this is, in a way, it's really the delivery business rather than, you know, a pastry business. Is this, I mean, is the shelf life of the product long enough that it's okay for, you know, for it to be traveling 3 days, you know, shipping to the customer? Does it, you know, can you talk a little bit about that logistics process? You know, is there a risk for, you know, the items to get bad or get, you know, crushed in the delivery process and things like that? How do you manage that?
Yeah, that was the first real challenge, because in the first place, remember, we were at farmers market, so it was direct to customer. You know, we were selling products directly to them and giving them, you know, hand by hand to them. And once we went online, shipping was really the biggest challenge. So the first thing we did is, okay, let's see how the competitors do it. So we ordered a couple websites and kind of see what everyone does best. And we kind of picked on each to, you know, to build our own shipping method. So we see, okay, this one had, I don't know, bubble cushion. This one had an insulated bag. Okay, this one had ice packs. This one do this one. And we kind of picked what we liked on each and kind of made like a custom solution to us. And yeah, the beginning was challenging, because really, we don't know what type of shipping methods to use. We don't know what carrier to use. But over time, we kind of perfected it. We also ship fresh, you know, nothing frozen. So everything you order on our website, pastries.com, you receive fresh items. They are handcrafted just for you. So it's not like we have something in stock, you know, waiting to be shipped and stuff. No, we really do it for you. And that also helps in the process. So nowadays, we have, you know, all these multiple shipping options. You can do even next day air if you have an event tomorrow, or you can do 3 days. And that's what we usually do, 3 days. And that's perfectly fine now. And just in case, we also put in place like the freshness guarantee, you know, because we stand by our products. So if there is anything happening, because yeah, those are fragile cookies. So we are aware of that. But over the years, with our experience, they arrive in 99.9% of the case perfectly. And in case they do not, we send you a free replacement. So over the years, with the experience and taking in the beginning from competitors, we were able to craft something that works perfectly for us.
Can you talk a little bit about your customers? Are your customers looking more, because I'm assuming that like in a bigger city place, there are probably shops that carry macarons and people can easily access that. Are your customers mostly in locations that maybe smaller places where they may not have this product, or are your customers also more of kind of the luxury more high income segment where it's much easier for them to spend a little bit more on the shipping and have it delivered at home rather than just going to a bakery shop and picking it up? Can you talk a little bit about your customers?
Yes, so our customers, we have a couple audience. So the first one is like gifts. So people just want to send like a special gift. For example, your son or your daughter is just starting college and she's not in the same place as you. So she's in a different state. Mm-hmm. You can send this gift to them, wishing them good luck, or even for happy birthdays and stuff like that. So that's really a first one. You send gift to someone that is not physically with you. So that's the first point. We also have an audience that is for events, like weddings, baby showers, corporate events as well, all sorts of events. And sometimes they are in a remote location, like in a hotel or, different venue. So that's that as well. We also have people that want to try them out. They've heard a lot about Parisian macarons. They never tried some, so they want to treat themselves, maybe because they had like a good moment, like a newborn or something in their career, and they want to celebrate. So they get them for themselves. And about their location, in big cities you have options, about macarons. That's true. But the thing is, when you look in terms of pricing, since we have free shipping over $59 and even free express shipping over $89, it's really almost the same offer, because you have to take your car and go to the place and then take them back. Or if you plan enough, you order on Tuesday and you get them on Friday. So it's a very, we are kind of in a competition with your local businesses as well.
Yeah, it's all about convenience. That brings me to my next question. It seems like the business model works. The business model of having pastries delivered to your home, like that's kind of the value proposition. Do you think about kind of adding on this value proposition, like adding more products or more sweets or even other kind of snacks and things like that to kind of grow the business?
Pastries, I called it pastries especially because we want to have some more in the future. Now we have crepes as well that we vacuum seal and we ship it fresh as well. We want to do what's called Madeleine. It's like a little cake specifically from France. The idea is to really offer like an authentic panel of French pastries. That's the idea, maybe in 5-10 years to have a representative panel of what we do best in France about pastries. So that's the idea to grow. And we also want to make sure that whatever you need for macarons, we got your back. For example, we just purchased a macaron printer, so we can print logos in full color or whatever logo you need or whatever drawing you need. We can now do it for you. We have a big event coming in September, and they wanted their logo printed. So it's a corporate event, and they wanted their logo on 1,500 macarons. Now we're gonna be able to do that. We can do like a logo for your wedding, or it's a boy, it's a girl, whatever you need. We can have that now. So I want to make sure that whatever the needs of the customer are in terms of macarons, we can do that for them. So with that printer, we will be able to add one more thing to our panel. And once I'm sure that we cover everything about the macarons, we're gonna move on to another product, because developing another product is, it's time consuming. So I want to make sure first that we control the whole. We can give you satisfaction to whatever you need in terms of macarons, crepes, and then go step by step on this.
That is really awesome. I think the printer idea, it should be really appealing to like corporate kind of customers, right? To have the logo, and I think it really adds to the look and feel of that.
Yeah. And they also ask, for specific colors, like custom colors for they are launching, like, specific makeups. So to have the matching macarons with their logo and matching colors, that's gonna be very good looking.
In terms of manufacturing, is your wife still the kind of the main chef, the one creating these products, or are you kind of slowly thinking about, as you're bringing in more volumes, to like hire more of professional kitchen, or have your own professional kitchen managed by your wife and then other people working there creating these products?
Yes. So for now we are located in Phelan, California. We have our own commercial kitchen, and we hire help, but usually it's during the peak season. We don't want to grow too fast because we want to keep the control over quality. For now, 100% of our products is really handcrafted by us. Nobody else, enter into the process. So it's really a French chef that does that. So it's either me or my wife. Most of the time it's my wife, and I'm taking care of, the business online. But yeah, we don't want to grow too fast for volume. We want to make sure quality is really met at first. So, and I know sometimes people want to grow fast, but for us, we want to stay small as long as we can, kind of.
Okay, awesome. In terms of your competition, you mentioned that you do consider the local shops your competition, but in terms of this business model itself, to be able to deliver these kind of pastries through online, through mail, do you see other competitors, other businesses kind of coming into the same space? Do you see more competition in the sense of new businesses trying to have similar offerings online?
Yes, unfortunately for us, but yeah, we see a lot more competition, especially after COVID, I think, because people realized that online there was like a big market, even for macarons. Before the COVID, lots of local bakery had to close down, and they were without revenue. And that's when actually we grow really fast during COVID, because people turned directly to online, since they weren't able to visit, their local store. So all of their customers kind of went to us and other online competitors. And nowadays I can see that there is a lot more local shops that invest into online stores as well. But remember, the shipping challenge is still here. So all of these local bakeries will have to face that challenge, because selling direct to customer at your local shop is really a totally different business than shipping, to the other side of the country. So there is this challenge as well. But yeah, online I can see lots more competition since COVID.
How do you think about, as you have new competition in the market, how do you think about, competing in the market, or staying kind of top of mind to the customer, or not kind of losing your market share or share of wallet to the competition? Like, what are you doing to make sure that when a customer is looking for a macaron online, that number one, that they see your shop come up in the searches, and then number two, if there's like 5 shops come up that are doing the same thing, that are delivering to the customer, that they go to your shop rather than like one of the competitors.
Mm-hmm. We, since the beginning in 2017, I really try to rely only on SEO, most of the time on SEO. So I want to make sure that our website is visible organically on Google and do not depend on ads, paid advertisement, either Google or Facebook. Of course, we do that. In the beginning, it was much, much less expensive than today. But especially today, now you see that all the ads are very expensive because there is lots of competition. It's almost even more important to be visible online organically. That means that, for example, I try to cover everything about macarons. So if you type anything like why are macarons so expensive, we might pop on the first top results. You're trying to find out if can I freeze macarons, how can I store macarons, all these kind of questions. I want to cover them all. So people, when they research about those, even if they are not ready to buy yet, at least we'll be in their mind, we'll be there as a reference. So that's our strategy, to really cover everything about a topic like macarons or crepes. And for the next projects, we do the same. We want to make sure we answer all of your questions. And that's how we stay visible.
And you do all that content marketing yourself, or do you have like help that creates some of those content pieces?
No, so I write all of these blog posts. So yeah, we kind of do a lot of time. We are just 2 persons, but we do a lot of different stuff. So maybe at some point I will need some help because I can't be everywhere. But yeah, I try to, since I guess, as a French chef as well, we have our own value to that. So we have a specific approach. So, if I find someone online to write about this, they wouldn't have the knowledge to share specific tips, So that's why I have to write it.
That's awesome. So in terms of your marketing, it seems like you kind of invested a lot of your time creating these content pieces that are kind of driving your SEO. What else are you doing? Any other kind of marketing? Like, are you doing any kind of video marketing, any kind of social media marketing to kind of spread the word further?
Yeah. So on Instagram, we had a really good years. We are over 100,000 on Instagram. So at the time of COVID, especially even before that, we were doing a class, like macaron class online through Zoom actually. And we were sharing, tips because macarons, as you might know, is a very big challenge to make. So we were sharing all kind of tips, and that's how we created like a buzz online on Instagram. So we're using that. We also using, of course, the email and SMS marketing for newsletters and new flavors coming every week. We have Labor Day coming this weekend, so this is another opportunity to share on that. So yeah, I would say digital marketing such as email, SMS, and we also do on Instagram. I tried on TikTok, but maybe I'm too old yet. I don't know. I don't understand it yet. So we'll see.
Yeah, TikTok. I think every social platform has its kind of like unique thing that you have to, the unique crack that you have to code. It has nothing to do with age. Like, I think there's a lot of older people also very successful, but
yeah,
you have to figure out the algorithm.
Yeah.
So I had a question. In terms of your sales channel, you are primarily shipping through your website. Are there any other sales channels? Are you using any sort of partnerships with third party, vendors and so forth?
Yeah, so mainly it's really a website. So we have the regular products, but we also have subscriptions on our website. So you can subscribe and receive like new flavors every month. And we also have a store on Etsy and Amazon. But this is really, I would say, side business. I try to be on point on these, but since the fees are different, the products are higher, more expensive for the customers. So I always try to redirect everyone to our main channels on the online stores because it's kind of a win-win. The product is less expensive on our website because we pay less fees, And also the customers get to subscribe to our newsletter. So we get, emails and SMS. And in return, they get like 7 macarons free added to their order. So even if we have other sales channels, I always try to redirect to our own website, because we can control the 100% of it, where Etsy or, Amazon, they take like fees on top of your sales. And one day if they decide that they can, delete your listings, and it's not the case on our website. So that's why.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I'm assuming that your business kind of makes really good for repeat purchases. So, if a customer has already purchased once and they're in your system, like in your email marketing system, I think it's an easy way to kind of send out an email, remind people, of macarons, and a certain percentage are going to order again from your site. Do you see a lot of repeat purchases? Do you see email marketing to be a good driver of repeat purchases?
Yes. Together, SMS and email and push. Also, we have also push marketing.
Okay.
All these, I would say, maybe 20% of the monthly sales. So it's really kind of our first sales, first sales channel, I would say. That's why and that's already challenging for us, because we want to bring something new every week. For example, a new flavor. Now with that new printer, we're gonna do something really cool every week. Maybe we're gonna do like a specific macarons pack about like a Netflix show, a new Netflix show, or with printed characters on it, or a new movie, or it can be a lot of fun, a lot of creativity. And that's what works best with emails marketing, when you have something cool to share, not just to kind of remind people that you are here, but to bring something new to the table and say, oh, this is the new show on Netflix, and you have this limited version of Stranger Things, Macarons, for example, So yeah, that's a good way to keep your audience activated. And then when the big season's coming, like Black Friday and Christmas, since you already talk to your audience all year long, they are more likely to buy from you, when Christmas arrives, for example.
Do you have you done any kind of PR or press release play? Because I'm assuming that if you do a proper PR campaign around, like, any holidays, especially December kind of a season, when people are, doing a lot of gifting and things like that, I think that could work. That could really drive your sales. But with that, I think you'll have to do a lot of pre-planning as well. Because if you get a lot of orders, you'll have to figure out a way to fulfill them. And I think if there's only one person kind of managing the kitchen, I think that'll maybe difficult. Yeah,
but that's a good problem to have, I guess. So, if that happens, we're gonna have to figure it out real quick. But yeah, we did some PR. My big problem maybe is that I don't like to pay for advertising, this kind of stuff. I hate to pay for that, because sometimes you are not sure about the results, if you gonna get a return on investment. And since we are still a small business, even so we are very successful, we are a 2-person business, and I want to make sure that every penny that we spend have a good chance, to bring back something. So usually what we do, and that's what works so far, is the beginning we were sending free products. So we say, for example, I approach like a website like ink.com, it's a big website or Business Insider. And I try to find the writers, and I try to find their Instagram, and then I send them like a DM, or saying, oh, this is us, we can send you free macarons, this is authentic, no pressure, no nothing, just let us know what you think and everything. And then you create like a good interaction, and then they're gonna write a piece for you, and this is without paying anything. Or if you check online, for example, if you type SEMrush Pastries case study, they came to us from their location on the East Coast. They fly over to us to take a movie about us, to kind of share our story. And they did that twice already. We have a very good relationship with them, and they shared, on their website how we succeeded with our methodology and with our business. And that was the same thing. I reached out, and we had a good feeling, and then they came over, and such like that. So that's usually how I approach things. I like to approach people saying, hey, we can send you some free stuff. Just, let us know what you think. Yeah. But I never really had to pay, press to write about us. So maybe we would have more advertising, more buzz around us if I did, but it's something that I don't like to do. I prefer to approach it, on the sideways. So.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I think I personally don't see a harm in, testing the idea out and see what's the ROI. Like if you pay a PR company, let's say, whatever they charge, $10,000, whatever, and at the end of it, you end up making $50,000 as a result of that. I think I would consider it an investment. So
yeah, I agree with you. And you need to make sure you track correctly, though. So you will need to maybe create a custom code that people can use at checkout, and make sure this sales is coming from that. That's always the thing to track, to make sure you can track.
Definitely. Since a big part of your business kind of is dependent on the fulfillment aspect of your product, right? Can you talk a little bit about, and I see on your website, I think right now you're kind of working with UPS for this purpose. So UPS is kind of your, carrier partner. Can you talk a little bit about how you work that relationship out? Like, do you kind of spend more time on building more partnerships with carriers so that, maybe your cost goes down and your, shipping speed gets faster? So for example, I'm assuming, if you see your analytics and you see that, a lot of 10% of your orders are coming from New York, for example, let's say. Do you find try to build specific carrier relationships in that area so that, number one, your cost of shipping to New York is lower, and then number two, you can make a value proposition in New York you can get macarons the next day or something like that.
We have a good relationship with UPS. They have local reps all around the US, and you can reach out to them. They meet you, and they kind of discuss volume with you. And in terms of areas, it works. It works like they have three famous products. They have the 3-day air, 2nd-day air, and next-day air. So if you promise them, if you commit yourself to, 500 orders next-day air within a month, they're gonna give you a really, really good price. The problem is you have to ship always next-day air, And on our side, we prefer to give the choice for the customers, because next-day air is very, very expensive. And since we know with our shipping methods, you can go with 3 days. We don't want to force people to go into the more expensive. We want to give you the options, so you can pick between the three different stuff. And the problem for us then is that we negotiate less amount with UPS, because we don't know which shipping method is going to be used. We can kind of have a ballpark, but we can say, okay, we're going to have 400 or 500 a month for next-day air. No, because it depends on what the customer takes. So in terms of carriers, we work with USPS, UPS, and it's good to keep the I would say the flexibility to people, because sometimes people order for big events and they want it tomorrow. Or if you order far in advance for a gift, you can take the economy shipping. So that's how we do it. We just keep it flexible.
Who does the packaging for these items?
To ship?
Yeah, is that also in-house?
Yeah, that's me and my wife.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
still.
Wow, I mean,
Yes.
that must take a lot of time to do that.
That's us. Yeah, we have to organize good to make sure. For example, we ship on Mondays and Wednesdays. So today's
Okay.
Tuesday, so perfect. But yeah, Mondays, Tuesdays, and we try and Wednesdays and Mondays and Wednesdays, to make sure that it doesn't travel during the weekends.
Okay.
So yeah, we make sure, you know, each let's say each task has its own place to make sure we don't lose too much time.
Awesome. What is so I know you mentioned 5 years down the road you want to have more products. What is where do you see yourself and your business, like what is your future vision, let's say 5 years down the road or so?
5 years down the road, I would say, yeah, I mean, like I said, I want to make sure to cover the whole, you know, macaron area business online. So I want to make sure whatever you need for macarons, we are here for you. For example, printed, colors, different fillings. We can do all that. Once I'm sure we covered all that, we're going to start adding more French pastries. So the idea in 5-10 years is to be really the reference online for French pastries. Whatever French pastries we need, you go to pastries.com. That's kind of the idea.
Awesome. In every entrepreneur's journey, there's always mistakes made, lessons learned, failures. Since you have started this business as an entrepreneur, what has been some of your kind of, you know, big lessons learned, or, you know, a big failure that you, you know, that was kind of a learning experience for you? What did you learn from it, and what can other entrepreneurs learn from your mistakes?
So I would say that was on my previous business is I tried to do it all by myself, you know, and I was alone on this business. So for example, I'm not a developer. So every time I need some custom things on my website, I can't learn all the way, you know, because it's really skilled, you know. So I would say a good team is the first point. So for us, it's a team of 2. We can do whatever we need with 2 persons. Of course, all these development tasks, you know, for the website or, you know, things like that, we can hire punctual help. But yeah, a good team is the first start. Whatever the product, if you have a good team, you'll succeed.
Awesome. Now I'm going to move on to our rapid fire segment. In this segment, I'm going to ask you a few quick questions, and you have to answer them maybe in a couple of words or a sentence or so. So the first one is, one book recommendation for entrepreneurs, and why?
The one called Making Websites Win. It's because, I don't know if you know this one, it's easy to understand, and you have like practical examples, and easy to apply, you know, directly to your business or website.
Awesome. An innovative product or idea in the current e-commerce, retail, or tech landscape that you feel excited about?
ChatGPT, definitely, I guess, like everyone. It's interesting for me, it's interesting to know how Google will learn to detect AI-generated articles from real human valuable posts. Since I write my own stuff and I add value to it, I want to make sure that Google still knows that it's a real human. So that's really interesting and scary in the meantime. I want to see how it goes.
Yeah, I hope. I don't think ChatGPT is going to replace human, new human ideas. So, I mean, it can regurgitate, like, you know, what's already out there, but of course, coming up with new ideas.
Yeah, I guess, because there are going to be a lot of AI generated content up there soon already.
Yeah. A business or productivity tool or software that you would recommend, or a productivity tip?
Yeah, I talked about SEMrush already. It's the perfect tool to track your SEO efforts. So it's really the good go-to place to improve your SEO, search engine optimization.
A startup or business in e-commerce, retail, or tech that you think is currently doing great things?
Do you know In-N-Out Burgers? Have you been to California?
In-N-Out, I've heard of it, yeah.
Okay, so it's like a family-owned burger place since like 1948, and they don't have franchise. They are still pretty small since they are 70 years in business. They have like 200 stores, so it's big, but they're not like McDonald's, you know. And it's family-owned. They control everything. They control the whole chain with quality ingredients, and they also train their own employees. They have like a school and everything. So it's really quality over quantity. So that's why I like them.
Definitely. I think quality always matters in a business setting.
Yeah.
Yeah. A peer entrepreneur or business person whom you look up to, or someone who inspires you?
That was the hard one. That I don't have one in mind, because I think these days, you know, we don't have Bill Gates or Steve Jobs these days. You know, there is so many competitors, so many new businesses. Everyone does their little stuff on their own. So yeah, I don't have anyone in mind for this one. Sorry.
Final question. Best business advice you ever received or you would give to other entrepreneurs?
Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
Definitely. That's kind of the daily motto of an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
Either you win, either you win or you learn. Well, Anthony,
that's exactly that.
Yeah, well, those were all the questions that I had. Thank you so much for joining me today at TrepTalks. And if anybody wants to buy any of your macarons or crepes, where can they find you?
So yeah, our website, pastries.com, pastreez.com. So you can buy macarons for your events, gifts, and everything. And any question, we also have a live chat button. And as you know, that's going to be behind it. So you can talk directly to me on your live chat on our website.
Awesome. I mean, it seems like you're wearing so many different hats, but I think that's important. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for your time today. I know you're busy, but I appreciate you joining me today at TrepTalks and sharing your story. So thanks again for your time, and really appreciate and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Sushant. Yep, that was a real pleasure too. Good question, good answer. We had a good time.
Awesome.